How's it going, guys? Alex here. Welcome back to another SSR Analysis video, and today I am joined by DFree DBZ HD, and today we are going to be going over Super Saiyan Rose and Super Vegito. Say hi.
Hi, thanks for having me on the channel again, and yeah, you know, the name is just DFree now. That's why you hiccuped there and it didn't work right.
Yeah,
so I just wanted to point that out.
It doesn't roll off the same way.
It doesn't, yeah. DFree is so much simpler. You should have stuck to that.
I don't know, in the future, mate. Right, so I have a feeling this is going to be extremely controversial to some of you because some of you may not agree with what we say. But these two units are the best units in the game at the moment. One of them is better than the other, but we will get to that in the end. And Vegito Blue isn't included. He isn't the best card in the game. He may not even be in the top 5, just simply because of how RNG based he is. But basically what we are doing today, I'm going to be going over Super Vegito, and then DFree will go over Super Saiyan Rose Black. So, Super Vegito, his leader skill gives an additional 40% stat boost. That's the difference between the villain skill and obviously the mono skill. He counters, and he gives a 30% attack boost to all allies, okay? So if you now talk about Rose a little bit.
Rose gives extreme type 3 key and HP attack and defense 50% up. So extreme type are all the villain units, which is the inverse of the aforementioned Vegito Blue, who does it for the hero units. Basically what he does, as well as a super attack, is he does immense damage and greatly lowers defense, and his passive gives him 100% more attack on top of his normal attack stat, and 3 key for all of the corresponding villains on the floor with him at the same time.
Like, that is just absolutely insane. The fact that he gives key to all villains as well just fixes the problem that villains don't have a main key link like the hero types. And the fact that he gets an unconditional 100% attack boost is absolutely insane. That was unheard of, like in the older days of Dokkan, but now more and more units are getting that. And the fact that he has a 150% multiplier, that just makes him one of the hardest hitters in the game overall. But let's talk about how the dupe system affects these units. I'm obviously going to be talking about Vegito. So, if he was to get an additional super attack, instead of giving a 30% attack boost to all your allies, it will give them a 60% attack boost, which is absolutely insane, especially if you have units like Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken and Agility Super Saiyan 3 Goku on the field, or even Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black, who is an absolute beast on Mono AGL. Vegito can also get critical hits with his counter attacks. This can amount to easily over 1 million damage in a single turn. And he also boosts the attack of all your allies. But tell us a bit more what Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black can do.
Well, the thing about it is the dupe system is such a wild card that, you know, there are a bunch of different abilities and every unit can do a little bit of a different thing. Like, for example, double attack on Rose is ridiculous because you're going to get 2 super attacks that are at 100% buffs. That's 100% disregarding whatever your leader skill is. So, obviously, Rose Goku Black is going to be the best sub-unit for an AGL team with Vegito as the lead. That's because basically, this is another thing that would be a little controversial, is AGL is still pretty much the best unit group in the game, simply because they have Goku Black and Vegito on the same damn team, and you have Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. So you've got like 3 units that are like top 5 to 6, depending on where you rank Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken post dupe system, because it does hurt him a little bit. That being said, you got him, and you can say, like, for example, he greatly lowers defense. That's nice. It allows your units to do a little bit more damage. It's a lot more viable on stage where you have a barrier like Broly. So, for example, you can take him if by chance, because it's RNG based with like the double attacks, he can break Broly's barrier on his own with a couple of double attacks. Nonetheless, double attacking and potentially getting a double attack critical hit 100% up with 140% up from the double leaders, it's ridiculous. And not to mention that Black will do this pretty much all the time as far as getting a super attack goes at 100%, because innately, due to his key passive, he starts off with 9 key anyway. So yeah, there's a lot you can really do, and depending on it, you can give him the ability that increases his damage on the super attack. You can give him the ability to do more damage to the strength type units, or, you know, you can even make him a little bit more tanky if that's your cup of tea there. But basically, innately with the dupe system, a lot of units do get a lot of unique buffs, and I really do appreciate that, especially like for Goku Black.
Yeah, and as I was saying before, as you said before, sorry, with the whole dupe system thing, it now benefits percentage passes more than flat out attack boost. That is why units like Super Saiyan Rose Goku, Agility Super Saiyan 3 Goku, will hit harder than Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. But despite all of that, these units are absolutely insane. But in the end, we do believe that Super Vegito is the better unit. Like I stated before, his passive, his leader skill gives an additional 40% boost to all stats, which is pretty damn huge. Rose will hit a lot harder, all your units will hit a lot harder. You have that health boost, you have that defensive boost, which makes your units tank even more. And it's just the better unit overall, realistically.
I think I heard you say 40%. I'm going to correct you before they do in the comments.
Oh, what did I say?
I think you said 40%.
It is 40%, isn't it?
No, it's 70%.
No, what I mean in total.
140%.
Yeah. Villains get 100.
Yeah.
I'm
just correcting you before they correct you in the comments.
Oh, okay. Don't slaughter me.
But no, yeah. So, Goku Black, when it comes down to the two units, right? Goku Black is probably the most consistent damage dealing / supporting unit in the game for his niche. He fits it perfectly. He's exactly what they need because, as we said earlier, they don't have good key links, and he's there to supply the key for them. I mean, they do have a villain link, but Bandai stopped utilizing it. The Fear and Faith link, they just stopped using it and putting it on their villain cards because every villain card should have it, but not everyone does. I mean, a lot of the top tier ones do now, like Cell. I don't know. I don't think Cell has it. I don't know. I could be mistaken. But anyways,
Nightmare, doesn't he?
Huh?
Nightmare.
Yeah, he has Nightmare and Shocking Speed, I believe. But anyways, like Omega has it, and some of these guys don't have it, like Golden Frieza and stuff like that, but they're trying to give it to a lot more units. So it will eventually, if they keep on this pace, become like their version of the Prepare for Battle, which is what all the Saiyan units have. But nonetheless, like I said, he fits it perfectly.
Really matter,
it doesn't matter for him personally. However, it may matter for other units if he doesn't spawn on the turn, although you can kind of make it to where he does spawn every turn, so that's not really 100% a viable excuse. But still, for units that start off with like 6 key or something like that, it could be a little bit more difficult, which is why he's so viable for the team, because he is making them start at least at 9 key to where it's a lot easier to get a super attack. He's basically, when you have units like that give key via passives, they're more or less support units, and the support units act as if you have like a key link active, even if you don't. So it's not just for him, it's for everyone that does that, which is why they're such good units. But at the same time, I love Goku Black. However, when we say that AGL is the best team in the game, it's not really debatable. And the reason being is because you have the two de facto best 2 units in the game on one team. And you have a lot of versatility. You can do healing, you can do tanking, you can do everything with an AGL squad. Heroes hit hard, villains debuff and hit hard. They're great, but when you look at them, it all falls back on Super Vegito as a unit. He's got the better leader skill, of course, for the mono type. Black has more of a buff, but the closest thing to a perfect unit in this game is Vegito. He is the closest thing to a perfect unit. He hits hard. He supports units when he super attacks. He also tanks everything but super attacks. If you're going to tell me that you have a card that's that good, that does all those things, and his only drawback is that he does not counter super attacks, I'm going to say he's broken. He's still the best unit in the game for that exact reason, even though he's the one that started this trend of these new great units coming out. He's the oldest one with him and Broly. That's really easily remediable. Like, you can bring a sealer, you can bring Baba items, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can remedy that, and then at that point, there's no way to stop that unit. He's still suited in that game for that exact reason. Goku Black, I would say, once again, is still probably the best consistent offensive unit in the game, just simply because that 100% and that key passive, great unit, and he also greatly lowers defense. It's like, there's and the 150% key multiplier. There's a lot going on for him.
You can make a debate for LR Goku, but that does require that bar.
But that's why I said consistent, because LR Goku is still the hardest hitter in the game, but he has to get that ultra super attack, which sometimes can be a bit of an issue unless you're running like specific units to get him there.
And if you guys didn't know, Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black is the 3rd hardest hitter in the game, which is absolutely insane.
And that's attributed to that passive as 100%.
Yeah, just keep in mind, he doesn't get any like insane boosts from anyone else, it's just him entirely.
Yep. And that's what we talk about, because 100% up on a attack stat that's already 10,100, 100% up on that, and then 140% if he's on an AGL team, so 240%, not even factoring in any key links or attack links, like Big Bad Bosses and Super Saiyan and all the other stuff. and not factoring in any dupe system improvements to his attack stat, which would further raise the buffs on him, like, it's ridiculous. This is why flat attack boost units like Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken can't match this, because these cards have basically infinite potential for damage. So
this is where you just know that spike in difficulty is going to happen because of how ridiculously powerful these units are.
Oh, hell yeah. And the number one hardest hitter unit in the game, I believe, was Gotenks, right?
Yeah.
And that doesn't factor in LR Goku, because once again, it's still him, but he's very...
You need Bardock to get to that point.
Yeah, he's situational. You need that Bardock there. But that being said, just innately with Gotenks, who has 120% up, I've got his dupe system chart probably like 20% full, and he literally hits for 1.5 million-ish on AGL units right now. You know there's a difficulty spike coming. That's too much damage.
That is ridiculously insane. But wow. Like... I want to hear what you guys think. Like, do you agree with what he said? Because I think we made a lot of decent points. Super Vegito is the better unit overall. Super Saiyan Rise Goku Black isn't that far off, but Vegito is just the closest thing to a perfect unit. He is probably the most broken unit in the game. He was, like, the only unit that could potentially rival him before now was Buhan. But Rose came along and then...
Yep.
Absolutely broke the game even more.
Yeah, and Buhan's the de facto number 3. He just got knocked down a peg.
Which is still pretty good. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy. Thank you, DFree, for joining me. Hopefully we don't get roasted in the comment section.
We will. They're not going to agree with anything we say. Don't worry about it.
I will link his channel in the comment section down below, and it will most likely be annotated on the screen, so go ahead and check him out. I hope you all have a nice day. We will see you guys in the next one.
Peace.